Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is RJV Shet and today we are gonna be picking my July TBR with TBR jar prompts. So let's get started. Where is my pen? This should be easy, hopefully. We are doing an excellent job of continuing all of the series I'm in the middle of. It is like opening up slower than a snail can crawl. Female character goes into her favorite fantasy world and she has to survive there. Does a snail crawl? I have no idea. Time is moving so fast, I cannot comprehend that. It is already July. We are already more than halfway through the year. So let's get started. I have my list of books that I want to read here. It is very messy. I 99% finished my June TBR because I read all of the books except one, and that one book is Digital Fortress by Dan Brown. I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I did not pick it up. But I read 5 out of 6 books, and that is a great thing. Let's get started. The first book that is going to be on my July TBR is going to be This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. It is going to be my book club's book of the month. It is a fantasy book where the female character goes into her favorite fantasy world and she has to survive there, and that is the plot. That is so interesting to me. It has been getting all of the hype. People are saying that it is their favorite read of 2026, so I'm really excited. Now let's get started with picking the prompts. I think I want to pick 6 prompts this month because I read 12 to 16 books on an average every month, so maybe we'll see. Usually we pick 6 books. I don't know what we'll do this time. The first prompt is, I added some new. Of course I added some new. This says a book with an even number of pages. So let's see. First, we have Find Me. This is a combination of 2 novellas, Shadow Me and Reveal Me. I have read till Restore Me in the Shatter Me series. Reread. So now I have to reread the Shadow Me novella. Let's see how many pages that has. Shadow Me ends on page number 75. It is an odd page, so this cannot be counted. Then after Shadow Me, I have to read Defy Me, and that has 363 pages. Again, an odd number. So we'll have to see some other books. Let's see. Let me open my Goodreads. First, we'll be searching for Psycho Academy by Jasmine Mas. I read the first 3 books in that series in June, and I binged read all of them. So fast paced. I should have opened this computer already, but well, whatever. What can we do now? Then if that does not work out, we'll search Dear Reader by Tate James. If that does not work out, The Divorce by Frida McFadden. Why is my computer so slow? I have no idea. It is opening up slower than a snail can crawl. Does a snail crawl? I have no idea. Okay, it is the 4th Cruel Shifter book and it has 444 pages, which is an even number. So the second book on my July TBR is going to be Psycho Academy. I'm buddy reading this with one of my friends on Fable, Ray. So hi if you're watching it. I love Jasmine Mas's writing style. Her books Blood of Hercules and Bonds of Hercules, god tier books. The first 3 books in the Cruel Shifters were really fun, fast paced, but they were not god tier, if you know what I mean. So let me write it down and then we'll pick the second prompt. Let's pick the second prompt for my July TBR. I picked one from the top. First book that comes to my mind. First book that came to my mind was Daybreak by Autumn Woods. It is the second book in the Sorrow Song University. The first book is Nightshade. The main female character is Ophelia Winters. She goes to the Sorrow Song University, of course, because of the name. And there she is trying to solve the murder of her parents. She takes the help of a student called Alex and they have a little thing going on and it continues. And the ending of the first book, I hated it, but I rated it 4 stars. So I'm really excited to complete out the duology. So the third book on my July TBR is going to be Daybreak and it comes out on July 20th. So I'll be reading it on the day it comes out. So let me write it down. We are doing an excellent job of continuing all of the series I'm in the middle of. So now let's pick the third prompt. Oh, don't fall out, don't fall out, don't fall out. Which should I pick? Inky Pinky time. Let's do heads or tails. This is heads, this is tails, and let's flip. Heads, so this one. A book with stars or moons on the cover. Okay, this should be easy, hopefully, and I know my luck is horrendous. So, this is exciting. Does In the Wake of the Ruined have stars on the cover? I don't think it has stars on the cover, but let's see. Okay, it does have a sparkle on it, and I think that could count as a star. It comes out 7th July, and let's see the other options. Wars does not have a star. Nope. Nope, it does not have stars on the cover too. Then let's see The Divorce by Frida McFadden. I don't think it does, but just to be sure, it doesn't. Okay, so I think the book I'm gonna be picking is In the Wake of the Ruined by Kaylee Cassidy. It is the second book in the Siren Mage duology. The first book was In the Veins of the Drowning. It is a siren fantasy. The main female character, I forgot her name. I read it in January, so I have no recollection of anything. The yearning in that book was amazing. 90% of the book was yearning, and I ate it up. Theodore, the name is kind of like but I loved him. The monster is always Lane. Imogen is the main female character. She comes from a kingdom that believes sirens are monstrous and blah blah blah. She is in hiding. She's actually a siren. A neighboring king comes to visit. He takes Imogen with him to escape the kingdom that had imprisoned her. So in taking her away, he makes a bond with her. Okay, and someone is hunting Imogen, and so they have to like break the bond or something like that. I am not explaining it correctly, but I loved the book, and the cover of the book is so pretty too. I ate it up, so highly recommend the book. Yeah, the fourth book on my July TBR is going to be In the Wake of the Ruined by Kaylee Cassidy. Where is my pen? Oh my god. What? Where did I put it? It is here. Now let's pick the fourth prompt for my July TBR. Okay, this one. This says current Kindle download. But the book I'm currently reading, and that is the book I downloaded, is The Bounty of Blood and Nails. It is for a reading vlog, you'll see it. Instead of current Kindle download, I'll take that to mean that the last Kindle download, and that was Blood Oath by Morgan B. Lee. You will see it here, it is the last. The first is like The Gisted Crown. I just finished reading that. That is why it is the first. The Nocticadia, I was rereading a scene from that. If you know, you know. But the last book I downloaded was Blood Oath by Morgan B. Lee. So the fifth book on my July TBR is going to be Blood Oath, and it is like an academy setting fantasy or something like that. I'll read the blurb to you after I write it down. I'm writing everything down because my memory is like abysmal and I don't remember anything. So I am picking this because people say that it gives the same vibes as Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mars, and that is in my god tier, as I repeatedly said. Okay, fantasy, paranormal. It has dragons? Oh my god, and it is only 286 pages. Everbound University, mandatory graduate school for anything that goes bump in the night. Not going is not an option unless you want to be hunted down for illegally inhabiting the mortal world. Oh. All legacies descendant of 4 houses are required to attend because we are all cursed, and the only way to break our curse is through giving our heart in a quintet. Okay. Becoming part of a quintet is a dream come true, destiny fulfilled, God's given merciful blessing. For me, it's a hard pass. I can't be bound to anyone else. Trust me, it wouldn't end up well. Okay, I'm really excited. So, the fifth book on my July TBR is going to be Blood Oath. Let's pick the fifth prompt for the sixth book on my July TBR. Let's pick this prompt. A book that someone else is currently reading. Okay, so, one sec. So let me open my Goodreads and like scroll through people's currently reading list. Flawless, read that. Empire, I've not read the first book in that. Heartless, read it. Six of Crows, read it, loved it. Harvest Season, okay. That's an option. Once Upon a Broken Heart, read it, loved it. The Deal, read it. Oh my god, the TV series is so good. The Correspondent. Okay, see, Lizzie Brennan is reading The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. So, the sixth book on my July TBR is going to be Correspondent by Virginia Evans. This book is written in the form of letters or something like that. The main female character is Sybil. It has a Goodreads Choice Award. Nominee for Reader's Favorite Fiction of 2025. Nominee for Reader's Favorite Debut Novel. Nominee for Reader's Favorite Audio Book. book. Oh my god. Okay, I'm really excited. I'm gonna be buddy reading this with my friend Emma on Fable. Again, she's one of my best friends. The sixth book on my July TBR is going to be The Correspondent, and it is only of how many pages is it of? 304 pages. So that is not a lot. I'm really excited. This is shaping up to become such an amazing TBR. I wanna do 7 books this month because yeah, I'm in the mood for some. And so let's pick the 6th prompt for my 7th book on my July TBR. If the prompt is good, then we'll count it. If it isn't good, then I'm not gonna count it and we'll just have 6 books on my TBR. Please God, let it be a good prompt. Okay, I think I wrote this today. There is a prompt that I wrote today that I desperately want. Let's see if that is it. Yes, this is the prompt I wanted. This is written by author with the same last initial as your favorite musician. So I have 2 favorite musicians that we could count. The first is of course Taylor Swift, so the letter T, and Noah Khan, so the letter N. Let's see if we have any of those. Oh my god. And if none of those work, then we can choose like Gracie Abrams or something like that. T and N. Let me browse my books because I'm sure we can find something. Author. How can I do it reversely? It's just the books that I want to read. Don't be so dumb. So the options are Stormbreaker by Nisha Jaituli T, A Fate of Wrath and Flame by Tucker K.A., Fortune Academy by Thorn J.R., Bewitched by Laura Thalassa, again T, Soul of Shadow by Emma Noyes, Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni, N. I think I know what I'm gonna pick. So the 3 options we had was Fortune Academy Year 1 by J.R. Thorne T, Bewitched by Laura Thalassa T, and Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni N. And I'm gonna be picking Shadow Reaper because I really liked her other series, I forgot that name. Yeah, the Prison Healer series, I really liked that. This is a new series by her and the cover is really pretty. It is a red cover. Never bargain with a Reaper. The city of Aravel is in peril, plagued by a deadly black mist that kills all it touches, and Reapers who roam the streets, stealing magic from innocent children in their thirst for power. 17-year-old Viridia Solas has trained for years to hunt these Reapers, but their ranks keep growing, led by a man who murdered her parents, the notorious Reaper priest. When the priest's most loyal follower Reeve Ashton is captured, he offers Viri a chance to avenge her parents. For a price she knows better than to bargain with the Reaper, let alone this Reaper, but his offer is too good to resist. Soon she is breaking him out of prison, colluding with his cast of magic thieves and following him deep into the Black Mist forest in search for an ancient legend, all so that they can stop the Reaper priest plot to doom the city. Viri is taking her life on Reeve's plans, but how can she trust a silver-tongued criminal to keep his word? And how can she trust her own heart when a buried secret could shatter everything? Okay, I'm really excited. The 7th book on my July TBR is going to be Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni. I'm really excited to read it. It is of 496 pages, and let me write it down. So let me give you a recap of all of the books we picked in today's video. The first book on my July TBR is going to be This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me because it is my book club's book of the month. My book club is free of cost. We have chapter discussions for every chapter in the book. It is really fun. Please join. And yeah, then the second book for the prompt I chose was book with even number of pages. The book I chose for that was Psycho Academy Jasmine Mars by Jasmine Mars. It is the 4th book in the Cruel Shift-Verse series, and I'm really excited to read it because I know I'm gonna binge it in one day. Then the second prompt was first book that comes to my mind, and the first book that came to my mind at that second was Daybreak by Autumn Woods. It is the second book in the Sorrow Song University, and I'm excited to complete the duology. Then the third prompt was a book with stars and moons on the cover. For that I chose In the Wake of the Ruined because it has a tiny sparkle on it in the middle of the cover, and I counted that as a star because it is my game and I can make the rules however I want to. Then the fourth prompt was current Kindle download, and the last book I downloaded on my Kindle was Blood Oath by Morgan B. Lee. Then the fifth prompt was, where are all of the prompts? Why are they flying up? A book that someone else is reading. So I scrolled through my Goodreads and someone was reading The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. So that is also a book on my July TBR. And then the last prompt was written by author with the same last initial as your favorite musician. So Noah Khan, N for Kahan, N, and Lynette Noni has N in her last name. So Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni is the last book on my July TBR. And that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Comment the peanut emoji to let me know that you watched till the end of the video. I chose a peanut because that is what came into my mind. It is so random. But yeah, that's all for today's video. All of my links are down below. My Goodreads, my Instagram, my Pinterest, my Spotify, my Fable book club. So yeah, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next week for a reading vlog or anything like that. Bye.